Okay, listening in on that is Khumisi Kganare, a legal analyst. Khumisi, thank you very much for your time as we take a look at the legal highlights of the week, if you will. Let's start with the point that was made by my colleague Linda Mnisi, in particular about the style of questioning of Advocate Mshololo on behalf of accused number 5. Today it didn't pass, where she asked the witness his highest level of qualification or what his qualification was. The state taking exception and the judge maintaining, well, I overrule that question. Is that unusual, that, or asking for a witness's level of education?
No, it's not unusual at all, Dudu. Thanks for inviting me, and a very good afternoon to your viewers. You are allowed to, especially if you are asking questions that would talk to, the experience and expertise of a person that you want to, get answers from. You are allowed to ask such questions. But, they must be relevant to the matter in question. And in this case, I don't think her question was, relevant. Hence, the state's objection to it was maintained.
Certain evidence or certain line of questioning, how does it assist the court? Perhaps let's take a listen at this particular moment on the relationship between Kelly Khumalo and Senzo Meyiwa.
Tumelo Madlala, one of the reasons why he came to visit Senzo is because they were going to do the lobola negotiations. Do you know anything about that?
There is no such. There is no such.
Thank you. So in one word, if you will describe the relationship between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Senzo, you'll say it was good at the time, around the time of the deceased incident.
What I can say is that they loved each other, but what I'm not going to agree with is the issue of the lobola negotiations, that there is no such. There is no way that Senzo would have gone to negotiate lobola without having asked Mandisa for consent to take a second wife, and I would have known about it. So there is no such.
How does this assess the case of the defense?
Yes, the line of questioning is always very important because the circumstances under which the death occurred have to be taken into account. And any question that you would ask that would, assist you as the defense in this case, you have to be very careful how you place it, so that the response that you get under oath from the witness, comes in as evidence that later might be used by the judge to determine his own findings on the facts before he applies the law in question.
The judge yesterday, he mentioned a word. Is it relevance of this evidence? Oh, that word is gone from my mind right now. But basically, essentially, the defense was nitpicking on a specific issue, and he just wanted to know whether is that relevant, will that assist your case? To which Advocate Mnisi then said to the judge, well, that's for you to determine whether this piece of information is relevant. Mine is to merely lead this witness or question the witness.
Yeah, sure. No, definitely. And eventually what you would want to do is you would want to put forth at least getting it from the witnesses themselves, especially talking to the relationship to also support your theory around the case as the defense. And we know there's a lot of theories around this matter. For instance, there's a possibility of a premeditated murder being, the theory, and there's also another theory where, murder may have been committed at the spur of a moment or we possibly looking at culpable homicide, death by mistake. And to the extent that you need evidence that will support your position or standpoint as the defense, you need to ask questions in a way that will assist, your lordship, his lordship, at the end of the day.
Well, the judge, almost every time a witness is done with their cross-examination, then he will have his turn. Today he asked him, Thokozisi Twala, if he cooked up the story of what happened on the night that Senzo Meyiwa was murdered, and Thokozisi Twala says, well, he did not cook up the story, and he would not even, no one would have in his presence at least done that. Does that speak to perhaps the line of questioning by the defense? Maybe does it indicate that the judge is not satisfied?
I would say, and as a judge, you wouldn't necessarily also let things fall into the cracks when you are tasked with a job of this nature, where you have to direct the proceedings and also control how everything is handled. I mean, so far, we people can agree, the public can agree with us that the judge has been acting very honorably. And insofar as the proceedings are concerned, I mean, from the word go, when he had to deal with issues of how, evidence would be led, and the cases that he indicated that, should form the yardstick of this process. For everyone involved, the defense, witnesses, including himself, in dealing with evidence. So I think he's doing a very good job at that.
Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Khumisi Kganare is a legal analyst.